In a world filled with noise, distractions, and constant pressure to be everything at once, there exists an ancient philosophy, simple, clear, and powerful enough to reshape your entire life. Stoicism. Most people misunderstand it. Some believe it means suppressing emotions. Others think it is about being cold, distant, or unfeeling. But the truth is far wiser. What is Stoicism in relatively simple terms? What does it mean to be a Stoic? How does it relate to how one lives their lives? What makes a man Stoic? Can I be in love and still be a Stoic? What is the definition of a Stoic person? Why would someone want to be a Stoic? Does being Stoic mean being emotionally distant towards people? What is Stoicism? The 1% rule. A reminder that great change doesn't come from dramatic leaps, but from the quiet strength of small daily improvements. If you are ready to understand your mind, sharpen your choices, and rise above the chaos, you're exactly where you need to be. Welcome to Infinite Growth Path. And before we begin, take a moment to like, subscribe, and join this journey of wisdom and self-mastery. Among most people, Stoicism is either not known or misunderstood. This is my effort to restore Stoicism to its rightful place as a tool in the pursuit of self-mastery, perseverance, and wisdom. In other words, something one uses to live a great life, rather than some esoteric field of academic inquiry. The philosophy asserts that virtue, meaning the virtues of self-control, courage, justice, and wisdom, is happiness. And it is our perceptions of things rather than the things themselves that cause most of our trouble. Stoicism teaches that you cannot rely or control anything outside our reasoned choice, and to use our own ability, to use our own reasoning, and choose how we respond and possibly reorient ourselves to any kind of external events. There are three important disciplines that form part of Stoicism. These are perception, how we see and how we perceive the world around us; action, the decisions and actions that we take; will, how we deal with the things we are unable to develop, a clear and convincing judgment, and come to a true peaceful understanding of what our place in this world is. The underlying message is that Stoicism can help you with whatever challenges you may be going through. The discipline of perception. The single most important practice in the Stoic philosophy is being able to differentiate between what a person can change and what they are unable to change. If they can focus on making clear what parts of their day are within their control and what parts are not, they will be happier and have a distinct advantage over any others who fail to realize that they are indeed fighting against an unwinnable battle. A good tool is to imprint the following reminders and verbalize them every day when necessary. Control your perceptions. Direct your actions properly. Willingly accept what is outside your control. Clarify who you are and what you stand for. Serenity and stability are the positive results of your choices and wise judgment, not your environment. If you try to avoid all disruptions like other people, external events, stress, unfortunately, you will never be successful. Your problems will follow you wherever you hide. However, if you avoid the harmful and disruptive judgments that cause these problems, then you will be stable and steady wherever you go. Passions and emotions avoid being a puppet to your emotions. You are in control, and when you next feel anxious, you need to ask yourself whether your anxiety is good for you. Impulses will always come, and your job or task is to control them. You must always think carefully before you act. If you are unable to control your impulses, You could be the source of the disasters you fear. Most things that upset us or make us anxious are only in our imaginations. They are similar to bad dreams and should be dealt with accordingly. That little thing that keeps provoking you isn't even real. It is very dangerous to think that happiness will come at some later time. The ongoing yearning for more, better, someday is the major enemy of your contentment. Eagerly anticipating your future ruins your chances at happiness right now. Awareness. The journey into philosophy begins when we are or become aware of our own ability to analyze our own minds. You need to work on and refine your ability to judge yourself accurately and honestly. You need to look inward to fully understand exactly what you are capable of and what it will take to unlock the enormous potential. The gift of self-awareness is your own ability to be able to objectively evaluate yourself. By learning to question your own instincts, patterns, and assumptions, you need to be very cautious and not rush to any kind of conclusions about anything. You will need to be completely aware of everything that's going on in order to make the right decision and not rush to any kind of conclusions about anything. You will need to be completely aware of everything that's going on in order to make the right decision. Your mind is your most powerful possession. You must maintain strict control of your mind at all times. It is important to remember that you are extremely blessed to have the capacity to use logic and reason to navigate situations and circumstances. You have the ability to always control your mind and your feelings, and you have the ability to always decide to love and also to accept what's happening around you. Unbiased thoughts. You need to always be careful about what information you let into your mind. Life determines that, unfortunately, we will be exposed to bad influences, and when this happens, we must not allow these thoughts to penetrate our minds. We have the ability to decide what information we allow inside our minds. A great coping tool is to quickly consider your own thoughts. Always trust your instincts, but always verify them. Test your impressions in order to avoid making a false move based on false or biased information. You will change your opinions from time to time, as we are not as wise as we sometimes think we are. Always fight against your biases and preconceptions. A great way to learn humility is to be willing to learn from anyone and everyone, regardless of their status in life. Unfortunately, opinions are usually shaped by entitlements, expectations, and sometimes ignorance. If we can find a way of getting them out of our lives, we will begin to feel less upset and angry. The right action. A shooter will not be able to hit a target without aiming. Following on from this, you should spend some time thinking about what your priorities are, and only then work toward them and forsake everything else. It is not good enough to just wish and then hope. You need to act and act right. Time is an irreplaceable commodity. You will only get one shot at today. After that, today is gone and lost forever. The question is, what will you manage to make of today before it becomes the past? You must indeed take pleasure from the right actions you take, rather than the results that may come from these actions. Our ambition must definitely not be to win, but more importantly, to play with our full and best effort. By doing this and giving it our all, we will always find contentment and resilience. Start now. Do not delay. If you focus on doing the right thing at the right time, you will succeed. Do not spend any time thinking about what other people think. This means nothing. Think about what you think. Think about the results, the impact, about whether it is the right thing to do right now. Problem solving. One of the guarantees of life is that there will be obstacles. The way to overcome this is by having a backup plan. Life is not easy or never fair, so no need to try to play the sympathy card. You always have a choice in how to respond. Use the gifts that you have been given and get the issue sorted. Get active in your own rescue and stop seeking a scapegoat. There is absolutely no shame in needing help, and you do not have to face everything on your own. If you need help, don't be proud and learn to ask. People want freedom, happiness, and the respect of their peers. All of that is right in front of you in the choices you make. There's no need to take the long way to get there. Hold yourself to a high standard, but not an impossible one, and forgive yourself if and when you slip up. Your duties. The Stoics believed that every person and animal and every little thing has a purpose or place in nature. Your job is to be good, so be good every day. We cannot be of service to other people unless we get up and get working. Rise and shine, and time to get going. So questions to ponder are, what are you committed to? What are you doing? And more important is, what is the reason you are doing it? If you carefully examine these questions, you can discover what your calling is, and you can fulfill your duties. Once you discover it, you've moved a little closer to fulfilling it. Everyone has the ability to be the master of their own affairs. You need to live your life in a way that doesn't negatively impose on others. In addition, you also need to be open-minded enough to allow others to do the same. We are made to cooperate with each other, and everyone's purpose is to do this great work together. Pragmatism. Often people say that they need the right environment to finally buckle down and get serious. A more wiser way is to be pragmatic and adaptable, the ability to do what we need to do anywhere, anytime. The place to do your work, to live the good life, is here. There is much that can be done today that will make the universe and world a better place. There are many little things to be done that will help move things forward. Don't make excuses from doing them because the conditions aren't right, or because a better opportunity might come along. Do what you can now. It is well known that man is never going to be perfect, so therefore our actions should be progress instead of perfection. Fortitude and resilience. The unpleasant experiences in life leave us with a much better knowledge of our own capacity and inner strength. You grow by knowing that in the future you can not only survive, but thrive when facing similar adversity. Even under the worst torture and cruelties that can be inflicted on somebody, the person's power over their own mind and their power to make their decisions can't be broken. It can only be relinquished. Should you spend a week or month personally experiencing the effects of poverty, hunger, isolation, or other fearful things, the situation would start to feel normal and no longer scary. Virtue and kindness. Any bad situation is made better by love, empathy, understanding, and appreciation. This also is true for situations where you do not agree with the other person. Always love and always give people the benefit of doubt. You have the choice to respond with kindness and love. You always have the choice to be truthful, endure, and to be happy. You can always choose to be kind to others. However, goodness will require you to dig deep inside your own soul. Acceptance. Every event in our life is objective. It is only our opinion that determines whether we think something is good or bad. You need to decide to make the most of everything, whatever it is that happens to us. We must not complain, but we need to try and to do the best we can to accept it and fulfill it. We definitely are not able to control the external, but we do control our attitudes and our responses to those events. Meditation on mortality people have an irrational fear of our own mortality. We avoid it, mostly because we think it will be a depressing thought. In fact, it should be the opposite. If you were told you had 1 week to live, I am sure you would make some changes. The takeaway: be satisfied with what you have been given. We all face the same end. Death is a radical equalizer, as no one is better or worse. All our stories have the same ending. So even if today was your last day, would there still be plenty to be grateful for? Give thanks. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I have certainly learned a lot while researching this post, which is a subject that interests me a lot. Lots of great principles and values by which to live your life.